Hello there everybody, it's Sabanai2 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Irae Amantes Amentes. So before I begin, there was a bit of misunderstanding on my part, so I kind of goofed on this. My understanding, I made the mistake of thinking that whenever Shiro escaped Wilhelm, he took his power. No. It was already clearly stated that he is incompatible with his power, and I should have kept that immediately in the back of my head. So I goofed on that one. What he did inherit, though, was Wilhelm's knowledge, and I believe you said that he also managed to absorb he kind of absorbed the souls that Wilhelm had. So he doesn't have an Okonogi, but he has a cumulative knowledge and a large amount of souls inside of him right now. I really kind of have a bad feeling about this. Part of me has like a really bad feeling about this. And I don't like I don't like this gut feeling that I've got going on right now. Shiro inhaled a mouthful of smoke, looking up at the changed sky with nary an emotion in his soul. A giant castle hung in the sky instead of the moon. One might deem it majestic at first glance, a bad joke at the second. Its sheer surrealism shattered common sense into countless pieces. Those assholes, probably waiting for the upcoming battle with bated breath before this final interlude. Perhaps they're simply waiting for the preliminaries to end. He could almost see them looking down at him with anticipation, popcorn, bags in hand. They all likely placed their bets in favor of his opponent. They waited a show they knew the conclusion to, and decided to watch only to witness exactly how it would all unfold. The purple smoke he exhaled got caught up in the wind, vanishing without a trace. He smoked this brand primarily for the taste, but now he could feel nothing. His body decomposed nicotine in mere seconds. Having an impregnable body was not all fun and games for sure. Realizing that fact a bit too late, Shiro twisted his lips into a sarcastic grin. A nostalgic sight extended beyond the fence. It might have turned into a graveyard, but it was still the same old place. There was not a single shadow or light in the city below. His amplified vision confirmed it without a shred of doubt, inviting a certain kind of wistfulness to his heart. He snorted the emotion away.
いかんね。どうも。どこかの誰かさんじゃあるまいってのに。
Also, can we automatically just give an award to Trifa for being by far the smartest badass throughout this entire route? A surge of sentimentality so unlike him. But that sucker would probably revel in the emotion, spouting a bunch of incoherent, embarrassing bullshit that made no sense. He had no one but himself to blame for being called a baby-faced romantic. He didn't mind being labeled a weirdo, though. Only that other thing. Inexplicable guy, for sure. Their whole life had been like one long joke. They'd cause a mess whenever they had the time. One would sulk but go along with it, while the other went crazy, no holds barred, all the while mocking him. Then they'd both get burned. That sure was a laid-back life. Shiro spent his days searching for the stimulus he craved. But that was way too much excitement to cope with for the other two. He knew he only caused them trouble. He probably knew from the get-go that he should be the first to leave that circle. From the very moment the three first met.
けどまあ、それじゃあ悲しむやつがいたし。
The guy did everything in his power to protect his normal life. Shiro, realizing that it'd fall apart sooner or later, tried to end it all right away, but he pleaded and wailed to have his dream extended. That was one thing the guy was completely helpless about. And in the very end, it would of course be Shiro to deliver the final blow to his false world. As such, this was merely the second round of their earlier brawl. God damn it! I fucking knew it! Ugh. Shiro merely did what the guy lacked the will to do so by himself. A long overdue continuation of that day.
よう、遅かったな、レン。
He'd help him discard all those things he held oh so dear. There was nothing more to it. I stepped onto the roof, only to be greeted by the sight of my worst friend leaning against the fence.
シロ。
ユサ君。
A cheery voice replied. Shiro welcomed us in the same laid-back fashion he always had. He was completely unharmed, just the way I remembered him. It filled me with so much happiness I almost wished to thank him.
生きていたのか。
さてね、どうかな。ま、幽霊ってわけじゃねえよ。足あるだろ、俺。
It was a pretty silly question, admittedly. He gave me a mocking grin, but even that made me glad.
だが、ちょいとな。無事とは言えるかどうか怪しいけどよ。なあ、わかるだろ。
Our hearts resonated with each other. From that I could tell Shiro had turned into the same thing as me. I could smell the stench of blood on him. I could remember the sensation, as if someone had purified palpable brutality and made a stew out of it.
そういうこと。ご覧の通りだ。ブラムストーカーには悪いけどな。
Oh yeah, probably.
消化が悪くてこのざまとは、なんとも情けねえことだが、仕方ないとは言えねえわ。悪かったな、レン。ここにいるのが俺だけで。
He rubbed the loss into my face all over again. I could feel my heart cooling down. The joy I felt moments before dissipated along with the warmth. I'm glad that at least you pulled through. I was robbed of the words I had intended to greet his return with.
なんつうか、えらくごっそり行かれたよな、お互い。ちょっと見ない間にえらい様変わりだ。
ああ、そうだな。お互い気づけばこんな姿だ。学校に制服着ずに来る羽目になるなんて不良のお前みたいだよ。
言ってろ問題児。来ないより来て問題を起こす分、教師から疎ましがられてたのそっちだろが。俺はめんどくさかったから老けてるからな。おかげで先行からの受けは良かったはずだぜ。
To be fair, considering the amount of chaos that you command at your disposal, it only makes sense, sort of.
バカ野郎。手に負えないからって放任されたやつが言うことかよ。
Well, there's also that. I mean, to be fair, you are. I don't want to say a problem child, but actually, realistically, I think it's something that I've already said multiple times. Shiro is Shiro.
ああ、そうだったか?
Of course. Jesus Christ, it was him and his lack of common sense that kept getting Kasumi and me in trouble. A nostalgic conversation. All we'd talk about was dumb stuff like this, and we never thought of it as anything special. That was how our daily lives used to be. We repeated this kind of thing day after day, and I thought we'd be able to keep it going for a long time. But now... my life had turned into a mere shadow of what it used to be. Its normality ravaged and torn to shreds.
しかしまあ、こうして話したり、バカやる分には変化なしなんだがね。なんていうか、いろいろ変わったな。鬼を切るために鬼となる。毒に対抗するには毒持ってくる。まあ道理としちゃテンプレだろうけど、お前からしちゃ不服だろう。まあ、今回ばかりは俺も同感だ。取るやつ間違えたわ。鼻が曲がりそうにくせえ。匂い取れねえよ。
Nothing but the smell of iron probably fills your smell sights right now.
そうだな。むせ返りそうだ。
Both our bodies harbored alien souls, ones that had since irreversibly melted into our own.
変化のない日常ってやつを壊してみれば、残ってみたのはガランドか。笑えねえ。もうちょいうまく立ち回ってりゃ、お互い満たされてたりしてたのかもな。
意味のない家庭かよ。お前そういうの嫌いじゃなかったか。
嫌いだね。ヘドが出るぜ。そんなこと言ってるやつはやっぱりろくなやつじゃなかったしな。本来そうなるはずってやつが仮に用意されてるならねえ。たく運命論者は立ち悪い。
I suddenly realized something. Shiro looked only at me, without even glancing in Himuro's direction or asking if she was okay. He gleefully went on to chat with me, occasionally casting his gaze at the sky or sometimes at the town below.
Shiro.
I didn't know why, but that filled me with an inexplicable feeling of anxiety. A grin that I'd been used to, the same old attitude I remembered, yet he seemed somehow far, almost forcefully removed from us. Why?
ユサ
頭沸騰してるイカれたやつに限って決まってるだのそうするべきだのと言いやがる。さすが頭湧いてるだけはあるわ。気色悪いったらねえよ。それも二流や三流どころじゃなく、そう追い詰めといて嘘吹きやがる。いや違うか、一級品のクソ野郎ってやつは大方そんなもんだったわけだ。有言実行の占い師なんて詐欺の代名詞だろ。予言して自分で起こせば的中率はそりゃ100だ。この通りがまかり通るってもんよ。後で文句言っとけ。俺が主役じゃないとか盛大に配役ミスってるってよ。
Oh, good lord, can we imagine a Shiro-focused novel where it's just him as the main character?
シロ、どうしたんだよ。お前一体何言ってるんだ。
さあな。
Shiro completely ignored Himuro, instead spiraling into a ramble. He spat out the words like he was reading them from a script.
でだ。
He glared at me for the first time tonight.
お前、何その女生かしてんの。
It said something completely incomprehensible.
シロ、お前何を。
My words were interrupted by a near suffocating level of bloodlust filling the air.
おいおい、正気かね。てめえこそ何言ってんだよ。ボコられすぎてボケたか。地方か、若年性健忘症か。
だからなんで先輩を生かしているとかそんなこと。
ああ、それね。別段不思議なことじゃねえだろうが。簡単な理屈だろ。じゃあお前が鈍感っぽく振る舞えないようにもっとわかりやすく言ってやろうか。俺たちがこんなざまになっている元凶と解決策をどうして放置してるんだって聞いてんだよ俺は。
Jesus! His words were soaked in unmistakable killing intent. Shiro seriously wanted to kill her. Well, to be fair, with the knowledge that he must have attained from Wilhelm, he probably knows the ins and outs about everything, including Himuro.
お前ふざけんな。
Unless he's intentionally trying to get Ren to the point where he'll kill him, but... And I couldn't just ignore it. I couldn't bear the thought of the last two people I held dear wanting to end each other.
ふざけんな。なんだよそれ。何考えてるんだよ。八つ当たりそのものじゃねえか。ありえねえ。そんなこと言うなよ。なんで言うんだよ。そんなこと言うようなタイプじゃねえだろ。キャラ違うじゃねえか。しろ。
何言ってやがる。言ったろ、解決策ってよ。感情的になってんのはどっちだ。一回頭冷やしてよく考えてみろ。
He answered my violent outburst in an infuriatingly calm voice.
今の状況を何とかできるかもしれない。俺はな、さっきからそう言ってるんだよ。そこの不思議ちゃんぶっ殺せばそれで全部丸く収まるかもしれないぜってな。
Yeah, good luck with that. Not like you totally want to summon Schreiber or someone like that, or the Battalion 3, who are instructed to protect this girl until the 8th swastika is done. You dingbat! Which is kind of why I've got the idea that Shiro is intentionally spouting this to get Ren to the point where Ren will kill Shiro. I think that's what Shiro's doing here. I didn't want to listen, yet his words carried irrevocable conviction.
考えてもみろよ、レン。仮に俺とお前が今から組んでだ。そんで都合よく友情パワー発揮してあいつら全員蹴散らせるだとか。おいおい、本気で思ってんのか。
それは
無理だわな。ガキでもわかる。
Shiro, who had only recently attained his Ananerve. Me, who couldn't get through to Marie anymore. On the other side, Reinhard and his battalion of 3. This power balance was a complete joke. The very scales would laugh us out of the room.
つまり力じゃ結果は見えてるわけだ。お前も言ったろ、連中は怪物だ。手に負えねえよ。まともにぶつかったらコッパみじんだ。
To be fair, my full power did kind of catch them off guard. But then again, they weren't at full power themselves, so...
けどよ、それでも連中まだ完全じゃないんだぜ。要は、これをどういうまだって取るかだろ。
どう取るって、いい方向と悪い方向にかよ。
そうさ、まだ奴らは全力じゃない。だからまだこっちを自由にうろつけない。こう考えてみると話は全然違ってくる。
Only 7 swastikas were opened. They need one more to completely manifest in the physical realm. Those demons had left a trail of destruction in their wake, but they had yet to fully enter our world. Even without being at their full capacity, they had enough power to vaporize the whole town. Sure, maybe they could vaporize only one town precisely because they still hadn't reached their peak. Considering their power, the situation seemed hopeless. But what if we instead looked at what limited their activities? A devilish revelation dawned upon me. An idea from the other end of the spectrum. I'd completely forgotten. These bastards had power to rival nuclear weapons, and yet they couldn't get out of...
なあ、よく考えたら笑い話じゃねえか、これ。下手すりゃ国一個ぐらい軽く消し済みにできる奴らがよ。今じゃ廃墟になった町で王様気取りだぜ。それが精一杯と来てやがる。
Shiro's lips contorted into the smile of a mischievous brat. Right. They couldn't escape the confines of this town. If the city itself was there on an airbay and this whole carnage was a ceremony to summon them, they'd be trapped in this cage forever, provided I never allowed them to finish it. All they had managed was to take over one meager city.
不幸中の幸いか。住人も全滅してる。これ以上誰か落ちぬこともないだろうしよ。気兼ねなくいけるぜ。あとはそこの心臓代わり兼生贄さえいなくなればいい。そうなりゃ話は簡単だ。このまま連中全員あっちに閉じ込めたまま俺らがそっぽ向けばいいのさ。息巻いて戦争しに来たってのによ。いざ気合い入れてみりゃ競争相手がケツまくってバイバイしてるなんざ傑作じゃねえか。おまけに次の可能性もなしだ。あいつらはやり直しすらできなくなる。
To be fair, he has a point. Kasumi is dead, therefore they don't have another Soninkin. For now. The Soninkin bloodline would end with Himuro. Like the critical gear of an intricate mechanism that had no spare, they'd forever be denied one of the pillars of the Pentachroma. In other words...
そういうこった。勝てないんならな。戦わなきゃいいんだよ。それこそ永遠に。
Which, again, this is kind of why I'm believing that Shiro is intentionally doing this in a bid to try to get Ren to kill him. Part of me thinks that. I don't want to say Shiro is... I mean, Shiro is Shiro. He's not stupid. He's a bit brash, but he's not stupid. So... I'm of the mind that he knows that even if we kill Himuro right here, right now, they're still gonna be around. They'll probably find some other way to, you know, get out of the castle or just find another Soninkin. But they really not gonna be doing it's nobody is gonna be safe so long as they're still around. Part of me wants to believe that Shiro realizes that, which is why I'm thinking that he's intentionally trying to set Ren up to kill him. I was rendered speechless. If Shiro was right, then this was indeed the best way to steal away Reinhard for good. Not by killing him, but by trapping him in a parallel dimension for all eternity. One could hardly call him alive in that state anyway. A perfect solution to subdue the disaster, not by facing it directly, but by sealing it away. Their hell would never emanate in that state. But for that, we had to...
で、あとはそこそこ長く生きられる体になった俺らが、ここと似たようなきな臭い町だの生物だのをぶっ壊して回ればいい。目を片っ端から引っこ抜きゃ、連中が帰還することもなくなるぜ。干渉だ。そうなりゃあいつら仲間内で延々と殺し合うしかできなくなる。永遠にジーク入るって、 狭い城の中でよ、G みたいに変わり映えしないメンツで生きがるしかないわけだ。はっ、ざまあ見やがれ。いい君じゃねえか。似合いだぜ。地獄の軍勢がこぞってお山の大将に早変わりだ。痛快じゃねえかよ。爆笑もんだ。腹抱えて指さしながら笑ってやろうや。だからよ、お前にできないってんなら
Do it in your place.
あの時と同じように
I'll kill her for you. So just stand there and watch. I'll do it all over again. I'll do what you should have done ages ago. Faced with that wordless oath, my patience had reached its absolute limit.
ふざけんな。ふざけんなよ、シロ。そんなこと認められるか、許容できるか。先輩を殺すだと、そんな選択肢俺は絶対に。
ふざけてんのはそっちだ。いつまでもその理屈が通る場合じゃねえだろうが。
That is a new expression, and I don't think I've ever heard Shiro sound like that. Our screams filled the air as intense pressure choked my neck. His eyes sparkled like that of a beast, reflecting the kind of genuine anger I hadn't seen in years. A fissure opened between us. The goals we each tried to accomplish separated irrevocably.
寝ぼけてんなよ。俺はマジだ。ラリってんなよ、レン。目ん玉磨いて脳みそ丸洗いしてからよく考えろ。霞は死んだ。エリーもだ。もうてめえが今さら意地張る理由なんざな。丸ごと奴らに奪い取られてんだよ。
Jesus!
言ったろうが。他ならないてめえ自身が亡くなったら帰ってこない今あるものを大事にするって、ありゃなんだ、どういうことだよ。今と比べてよ。失ったら他のもんにすがりつくための言い訳か。違うのか。そんなしけた面しやがって。まだ甘いこと言ってカッコつけやがって。今のお前は残ったもんが石ころだろうと宝石だろうと何の区別もできてねえ。全部取り上げられた後になって落ちてたもん片っ端から抱え込んでるだけのクソガキじゃねえか。帰ってこねえよ。みっともねえ。どこ見てやがる。未練タラタラさせやがってイライラするぜ。
He gritted his teeth, glaring at me with a face contorted by rage. It hurt seeing him like that. It hurt more than anything. I felt like I was being crushed alive.
そうさ、帰ってこねえんだよ。何も何一つだ。なのに吹っ切れることもなく化石みたいな理論いつまでペラこいてやがるんだてめえは。悔しくねえのかよ。殺してやりたいって吠えてみろよ。こっちもケツに火がついてんだ。時間がねえ。お前がどう行動しようが俺は俺のやり方をやらせてもらう。
時間だと。おい、どういうことだよ、シロ。
The animosity waned from his eyes for a moment. He made a self-scorning grin.
俺もな、死ねばあそこに落ちる。くたばったら即積み上げられたドクロの一山になるんだよ。驚くほどのもんでもねえよ。当然の理屈だ。
He snorted, pointing at his own heart. The source of the demonic blood that once belonged to a vampire, the engine of the human body and the wellspring of the lubricating oil.
俺はビルヘルムから奪い取ってここにいるんだぜ。あいつが手に入れた呪いとやらもそっくりおまけでついてきてんだよ。死ねば即刻あちら行きだ。抵抗もできない。猶予もねえ。一発吠え面かかせてやるには今しかないのさ。
That does make sense.
最後に勝ちを狙って何が悪い。
He was right, but Ren Fuji rejected it with every fiber of his being.
お前こそ何言ってんだよ、シロ。らしくねえよ、弱気じゃねえか。俺とお前であいつらを倒せばいい。簡単なことだろ。勝手に見切りつけてんじゃねえ。 優等生面なんかやめちまえ。バカじゃねえかよ。バカだろ俺たち。大人が手を焼く問題児だろ。ならそれらしくいけばいいだけじゃねえか。かっこつけてんのはそっちだ。賢そうに切り捨てる算段なんかすんな。
We should open the last swastika and go kick the asses of all those motherfuckers together. I'd kill Reinhardt. I wouldn't let Himuro die. We'd all survive. Why couldn't Shiro make such a simple and obvious choice?
何を言うかと思えばそんなことかよ。じゃあ聞くが、お前どうやってここのスワスチカ開くつもりだ？
Oh.
それはあいつらの誰かを。
バカが。それじゃ無理なのさ。
He denied my idea in a single breath. To be fair, Ren, he kinda got you there.
もう残ってんのは俺とお前だけだ。この世の連中はラインハルトの一部だからな。倒しても意味がない。ここをこじ開ける生贄にはならねえよ。
And there were no people left in the city to act as a sacrifice.
そんな。だったら。
I could feel the blood rush out of my face. To kill Reinhardt or to seal him away, we needed a sacrifice no matter which one we picked. I had to cast aside something I held dear. There was no other way. He was telling me to choose either him or her? To decide which one of them meant more to me?
そういうこった。で、お前は選べない。だから俺が選んでやるっつってんだよ。昔からそうだろうが。だだこねていい子ちゃんぶってるお前は結局最後までどれも選べない。霞か俺が選ばないとお前は糸の切れた風船だ。八方美人しやがって。この状況でもきっちりかましやがる。
Shiro gave me an exasperated look, then started towards Himuro. I could feel murderous intent in his steps.
ダメだ。
I caught him by the shoulder. That was one thing I couldn't let him do. There was just no way I could. My hand began to tremble. Shiro's gaze pierced me like a knife, like he was blaming me for what he said earlier. He stood so close, yet felt so far away. I understood. I really did. He was right. I couldn't make tough calls on the fly like he could, nor could I confidently pick one thing over another. I admit it, Shiro. You've always been ahead of me. I couldn't move forward while weighed down by everything I tried to pull with me. That was the main reason behind all the defeats I just suffered during the past few days. And also why I...
ダメだ、シロ。お前に先輩は殺させない。
I held her dear. I considered her irreplaceable. And she wasn't the only one.
お前だって、俺に残った数少ないものじゃないか。このバカ野郎。
I couldn't acknowledge it. I simply couldn't. I didn't want to lose even the final drops of my treasured memories. I wouldn't sacrifice one thing that meant the world to me for the sake of another.
勘違いしてんなよ。お前何簡単に俺の大切なもの切り捨てようとしてやがる。なんで勝手に俺に許可なく馬鹿げたことやろうとしてんだ。俺はお前を死なせない。先輩だってそうだ。失いたくないんだよ。切り捨てていなくなるなよ。そうなったら俺は
Might stop viewing you as a friend. Whatever the circumstances, I'd be forced to consider a friend that, for better or worse, I'd been inseparable with as my enemy, even after he came all the way back from the depths of hell to meet me. I couldn't take it. I wouldn't let him make me do it. I want him to always be around, or hell, he could be far away for all I care, but I wanted him to live and be his usual self.
だからやらせない。価値なんてつけるか、優先事項なんて知るか、できるかできないかとかも知らない。守ってやるつもりなんかねえ。俺はお前に絶対殺させない。お前の価値も失わせない。
In the end, I couldn't make either choice. Shiro gave me a meaningful look. He said nothing. No answer. Complete silence. A few seconds that seemed an eternity. After that brief period of hesitation, Shiro made an exasperated smile before shrugging his shoulders.
まったく、この博愛主義者は。
His features lost their severity as he ruffled his hair in a troubled manner.
いつまでもペラペラ。メルヘンぶっこいてるんじゃねえ！
Nope! The world's only turned upside down. I tumbled down the concrete of the roof after receiving a ferocious punch straight into my face. My vision grew dim. Stars danced before my eyes as I was about to blank out. God fucking damn it! He put all his strength into that punch.
突っ込んでな。あんたは後だ。
Okay, it's happening. We start with this, may as well end with it. Himura was about to hurry to my side, but his words made her freeze. I turned over to meet his gaze. Is this new music? I hope it's new music. It sounds like new music.
怒ったかよ、ジゴロ野郎。どいつにもこいつにもいい顔して、あれは嫌だ、これはダメだ。その上これまですんなってか？だから結局最後は誰かに寄りかかってんだよ。おんぶに抱っこかよ。いい年してよ。何でもかんでもすぐ誰かに与えちまうから、そいつがアキレス腱になっちまう。自分だけでどうこうしようとすんのもその裏返しだろ。誰かがいなきゃ立てないから、そっちばっか見て、あげく自分はそのざまか。バカが。おかげで回春しかしない大バカになっちまった。どうしようもないね、こりゃ。立ちながら寝てんのか。なんだと。違うのかよ。
I sluggishly rose to my feet, invigorated by his patronizing look. I glared back at him, unable to take his pomposity anymore. Not minding my indignation in the slightest, he returned my look with a chilled gaze, but I could feel his lust for battle in the air. Memories flashed before my eyes, not foreknowledge, but something that truly happened. We'd already faced each other here 2 months ago. 2 months that now felt like an eternity, yet that fight forced us down separate paths.
来いよ、レン。喧嘩の続きだ。銃だの刃物だのじゃねえ。俺とお前の蹴りを今つけようじゃねえか。
That seems a little bit unfair because you have Wilhelm's vast soul number, so kind of you're at a bit of an advantage. Then again, I can't slow down time, so yeah, fuck it, let's go. I had no idea what I wanted to say anymore. I just howled like a beast. Our arms crossed in the air. Roars of anger and grunts of lament kept pouring forth from my lips. Oh!
ふぬけてんじゃねえよ。腰が入ってねえぞ。
A fist dug into my solar plexus. He put his entire centrifugal force into the punch. I resisted, though only to be met by a backhanded strike aiming at my neck. My vision went to shit. My knees staggered. I instantly straightened myself and launched a kick aimed at his side. Our attacks crossed again, exploding in a cacophony of mutual pain. I could barely see anything anymore. Sheer will alone kept me on my feet. At this point, I relied on raw instinct to guide my punches. No one could stand between us now. No one had the right. We returned back to that day. A fist fight that came close to a fight to the death. We kept punching each other until our bodies broke and we could move no longer. We both had something we couldn't let go of. An event that severed a decade-old bond. Out of nowhere, he said that he'd be taking off, that he'd let our secret out. Leave us behind. A punch interrupted the words, but my intentions must have gotten through.
お前が行けるのに行こうとしないからだろうが。
Our thoughts had been conveyed. We exchanged punches in rapid succession, letting our dull sounds express what our hearts felt.
そんなに行きたかったかよ。こんなとこまで、こんな場所まで。
当然だろうが。だいたいお前はいつももどかしいんだ。同じことばかり飽きもせずよ。ずっと思ってきたぜ、俺は。こいつはどうかしてる。頭おかしいんじゃねえのか。
Ironic coming from you, but okay.
なんでこんな奴がこんな普通の日常を楽しめんだろうってな。いい機会だ。頭かち割って中身どうなってるか確かめてやら。
He gave me an all-out punch and kept hammering away on me without rest. The emotions we kept bottled up spilled forth in a raging torrent, like water through a broken dam.
こっちだって同じことを思ってたんだよ。なんでこんな破天荒キャラが俺の隣にいるんだろうって。なんでこんなどうかしてるやつがいるんだって。
All he did was cause trouble. And after things got out of hand, he'd always, without exception, come to my place and unload it all on me.
スリルが欲しいなら勝手にやってろよ。決まって俺を巻き込むんじゃねえ。
人の性格にケチつけてんじゃねえよとって
めっとうの口で言いやがる。
That was who we must have been to each other. We kept punching each other with the same thoughts racing through our minds. We were both in a horrific state, broken bones, torn skin, fists covered in gashes, yet we refused to let up. We couldn't.
ああそうだな。決まってぶっ壊すのは俺だ。お前ができるのにやらねえもんだから毎回苦労してたな。おい、うまく思考を凝らしてよ。お膳立てまで整えて、あとは一番かき回してくれるバカ呼びに行って楽しんでた。尻が重たいんだよ。床でくっつけてんじゃねえ。そんなに嫌ならどっか行きゃいいのに。てめえいつだって俺のこと待ってたろうが。
誰がお前のことなんか待つか。
待ってたろうが。興味がないふりだけしやがって見え見えなんだよ。
Okay!
どうするべきか分かっていながらやりたくないってほざいてばかり。叫んな。いつまでも痛いんならそこで膝抱えてろ。嫌なら目つぶって耳塞げ。心臓動かすなボケラス。邪魔なんだよ。それが一番いいって答えもない。代替案も出せないくせに。
The dull sounds of torn flesh filling the rooftop grew even more intense.
俺のやることなすこと勝手に寝踏みしてんだ。
Our fists became embodiments of our emotions, our punches further amplified by our inner turmoil. All those screams reflected how Shiro really felt, and I'd meet them head on. I had no right to flee.
答えが出てんのに躊躇すんな。それっぽく振る舞ってチャラになるか。いい加減目覚ませこの無双やろ。
だから
He understood nothing. That was the answer I chose.
ざけんな。渡すかよ先輩よ。勝手に行こうとするお前のことも。
I swore not to lose anyone else. He could call me an idiot all he wanted, but he'd have to pick his jaw from the floor in the end. He was the one whose eyes were clouded. I'd show him the power of my ideals. Even if there was no answer in there, even if it was no more than a childish tantrum, I'd still...
二度と生かすかよ。ここにいろ。シロ、俺はお前に奪わせない。そしてもう一人でどこにも行かせねえ。
Would he open his eyes already? This is normal for us. We'd always been like this. Who the fuck cared about Reinhardt or his hell? Could anyone ever stand in our way once we teamed up? That's what we had to show those bastards. We needed to make them regret that they ever underestimated us. We'd show them our combined...
だからそれが
The depths of my emotional turmoil must have reached him, and yet...
寝ぼけてるって言ってんだよこのバカ野郎。
His fist crashed into my face, completely destroying my sense of balance. Uh-oh. Stop laughing! Up above in the empty sky, a shadow looked down upon them and cackled. Seemingly at the pinnacle of bliss, the jester had his lips contorted in the shape of a crescent moon, relishing the event.
素晴らしい。なんという喜劇、なんという友情か。予想以上だ。感激だよ。しびれが止まらぬ。同型すらしいよ。
Wonderful! Such a performance! Such a display of friendship! You have exceeded all expectations. Marvelous. The shivers of my flesh refuse to cease. My heart jumps with delight.
交差する思惑、互いの意地、信じているのはその論点か、はたまた相手自身をこそか。その願いはどの終点を目指している？希望まで無形の混沌ではあるまい。君らは譲れぬ結末を描いて、互いを誇りに思っているのだから。
Your thoughts cross, and so do your dedications and beliefs, mayhaps even your very souls. What end to your hearts you truly yearn for? Your hopes manifest not in the form of shapeless chaos. You both have clear ends in mind and are equally proud, unable to surrender them.
見ておられるか獣殿、あれぞとも純粋なる情愛の活劇、我らが歓喜の幕開け。
Are you watching, my beastly companion? That is true friendship, an eruption of genuine love. A splendid curtain opener for our finale.
私とあなたが形にすることのできなかった語らいを今我らの写しみが歌い上げてくれている。
Our mirror images exchange words neither you nor I could have ever given form. The Mercurian magician found himself intoxicated by this unanticipated miracle. Its radiance and grandeur knew no bounds. It managed to jolt alive even the most rusted of hearts, sending ripples along its lake of everlasting tranquility. Sorrow, attraction, empathy, passion, their dance left him spellbound. Sing and bare your hearts, clash them against each other, twin mirrors. Collect the reflected light incessantly blinking between you two, and wield it to illuminate the path to the final act. Turn your foolish belief of a brighter future into reality.
素晴らしい。その一言に尽きる。いや、それすら足らぬな。弁には自負があったのだが、言葉にできぬ。できていいものではない。したくない。
Wonderful. It all comes down to this one word, or perhaps not, and even that word proves ineffectual in expressing this beauty. I was amply confident in my diction, yet this event exceeds even my vocabulary. There are no words to deliver it justice. Or should I say, I hesitate to tarnish its magnificence with any.
指揮者の仮面をかぶり、あの葛藤を形にするのは神聖さに泥を塗る行為だ。見守っていたい。久々に思ったよ。終わってほしくないとさえ。
Attempting to force this blessed turmoil into the confines of language would amount to no more than blemishing its brilliance. All I wish to do now is observe. Even I, for the first time in eons, wish to never see it concluded.
ああ、君たちは本当にどこまで私の瞳を焦がすのだ。
Tell me, to what extent shall you bewitch my eyes?
語り得ぬものは沈黙しなければならない。よく言ったものだ。 君らにもこの言葉を贈ろう。
Those that have nothing to say ought to remain silent. I dedicate those words to you.
まるであなたのようではないか、マルグリット。
It feels almost as if we were discussing you, Marguerite. At the end of that question, the girl of Twilight screamed in a teary voice. Please make them stop. This is too cruel. A scream like a prayer. His sorrow tore her to shreds from within. She wished to stop that pain, yet remained utterly powerless. All she could do was cling and wail. Screams, joy, whimpers, confessions, nothing could be discerned in this cacophony of a million emotions. They all merged and raged like a storm inside Renfuji's breast. Like water and oil, certain emotions could not mix, causing the muddy whirlpool of torment to accelerate further. The boy's heart would cry out in anguish with every hit. Blood, blood, blood. He was covered in wounds numerous beyond counting, yet still he refused to stop. The whole thing made her heart sink. She wished he would stop. She wished he would stop crying. His heart had experienced more than enough suffering. She pleaded for them to stop with every fiber of her being.
何を嘆くことがあろうか、我が女神よ。
Yet all that answered was a deviant voice.
見たまえ、あそこには全てがある。彼らは真に素晴らしい。
Behold, oh wait, I forgot to read the other ones. What is there to lament, my goddess? Behold this sight, for it encompasses everything. A wondrous spectacle, truly. An exquisite, maddeningly awe-inspiring theater of the sublime. Blood still danced in the air where he pointed his finger. The skin on their knuckles had long been torn away. Their hearts screamed with every hit, yet they did not shed a single tear. That made her sad beyond words. How could anyone call this beautiful? A discord in perception caused the last remnants of the girl's trust in the jester to wane. She thought the shadow dreadful, He found his gaze, fixed on a spectacle that might lead to his death, disgusting. The way he considered that dreadful scene in a prized jewel to be praised was beyond revolting in her mind. I think I meant to say she found his gaze. She prayed for his flowery rhetoric to end, yet the shadow continued.
友愛を抱き互いを壊して形となす愛の証明同時にそれは互いの心情を汲みながらそのために憎悪で拒絶した絶縁の嘆きでもある
Mutual destruction is the proof of their shared love. At the same time, it is also a wail of lamentation in response to their unavoidable separation, instilling hate despite mutual understanding.
矛盾だ矛盾がなされているのだよマルグリットさながら空を飛翔しつつ深海へ潜航しているかのような高等無形さだ
Antimony, a contradiction is being enacted, Marguerite. A situation as preposterous as trying to both soar the skies and dive underwater at the same time.
踏破し脱却し上流を置き去って旋回するヒバリ奏でるさえずりの応酬が羽をむしり合うたび反響し心地よく世界を満たす
A skylark that transcended, escaped, and left reason behind in its journey to the sky. Its birdsong echoes across the world in a most pleasant tune with each feather it sheds.
羨むしかあるまい脱帽するよ彼らは今この世界に二人きりなのだ魔導に頼るのではなくただ築き上げた絆で私のくびきを跳ねのけている
One cannot help but envy and admire the two. They are currently alone in the world, with no magic at their disposal. They have cut through the shackles of my reality through the bond of their friendship alone.
いかなるものにも縛られていないすべての感情を瞬間に永劫と等しく感じ取りそれすら流れ落ちる被爆の一滴凄まじいな素晴らしいな止めることなど誰にできよう
Nothing limits them now. They grasp and feel every emotion the moment it occurs, all equally and eternally, like drops of a waterfall. 'Tis truly extraordinary, most wonderful indeed. No one could possibly find in themselves to stop them. A dissonance of actions and emotions. Nothing constrained their feelings or behavior, and now they spilled over with no actual meaning. The emotions boiling inside them were a geyser out of control. They poured forth without limit, nor any hint of ever stopping. Sorrow would manifest if they felt sad. Joy would come into being if something made them happy. Transcending common sense, their destructive exchange stirred an amalgam of emotions in their hearts. And that would continue for an eternity, even after they had been broken. Until one's waterfall would wash away the others.
許せないから壊すのではない信じているしかしなぜかその願いを砕いている憎しみより激しく愛よりも慈悲深くそれはなぜ
They seek to annihilate each other not because of hate. They believe in each other, yet they choose to shatter the other's wish. More potent than hatred, more tender than love. Why is that? Incomprehensible. A causal relationship seemingly inexplicable to an observer.
認められぬから奪うのではない認めているその道を羨んでもいただから与えけれど奪いされど無視してそして通り過ぎながら絵師を望む
They reject each other not because they fail to acknowledge their creeds, for in fact they do. They were even envious of each other's paths, and so they gave, and yet they robbed, ignored, and in the end wished for each other's destruction. A matter most incomprehensible to a third party, a rift between hearts. To try and close it, the only choice was to let all emotions rush to the surface, even if they stem from different premises.
彼らは今語り合っているのだかつてないほどに激しく誠実に
They are currently conversing, more intensely and vehemently than ever before.
君をこう見ていた君をこう感じていたのだと事細かに叫んでいる相手に分かってもらうために分かってやるために分からせるために
Their hearts are screaming. I saw you like this. I felt you like that. To have the other understand. To understand the other. to make the other understand.
思い出を語り合い、大切で仕方ないとその持て余した感情をぶつけ合っている。そこにくだらぬ虚飾は一切がない。すべて剥ぎ取られ、裸の己をさらけ出す。
They are reliving the most precious memories together, crashing their welling emotions straight into each other. There's not a single feint in their bearing. They have bared their everything, standing before each other with naked hearts.
なんと素晴らしい。これぞ魂の決闘だ。
A wonder beyond words. That is a true duel between souls.
ああ、難解だったかね。美しい顔が歪んでいるよ。また婉曲的だったか。ならばこうよ。
Was it perhaps a touch difficult to understand? Your beautiful face is contorted again. I must have lost you. Allow me to paraphrase.
理解できぬかね。私もそうだ。故に美しいと感じる。
Their souls are dancing in passionate tandem. Marguerite. Love? That? All that pain? Being forced to break something precious while crying inside? No, she couldn't understand. That couldn't have been true. But the girl was powerless to stop the two.
理解できぬかね。私もそうだ。故に美しいと感じる。
Comprehension eludes you, I take it. I feel the same. And thus I consider it beautiful. Ah, how truly exalted. His heart danced and eyes sparkled as he bore witness to something that broke free from his yoke. He would see this play through to its finale, observing that frightful display with the look of an innocent child. The entirety of his being had been completely charmed by and glued to the spectacle, experiencing the kind of thrill that hadn't graced his being in eons. He felt grateful for the unexpected gift his own creations bestowed upon him. Yet as he lost himself in applauding the spectacle, Mercurius failed to take notice of something. That the girl's desperate pleas for help, a maiden whom he supposedly held in the highest regard imaginable, fell on deaf ears. A misconduct that should have been impossible for someone of his caliber. He ignored the prayer of his own goddess. He placed the thrill of his heart, whatever its shape or form might have been, above her. A grave mistake. With his heart, at long last, scorched by the flames of passion, Mercuriously unwittingly failed to keep his most solemn promise. And even now the laughing jester remained blind to his mortal folly. You fucked up! That his own body had been taken captive by a marionette string. They kept punching each other till the bones in their arms broke, and would continue until neither of them could move. It truly was a reenactment of that day. They had exchanged over 100 blows already. Nonetheless, they continued, with miserable cries escaping their lungs. They kept crashing their broken bodies against each other. Despite the countless wounds littering their bodies, their hearts cried with enduring vigor. I had to teach this obstinate bastard enough of a lesson. Whatever had been on their minds, they allowed it to rain down upon the other. With screams with gritted teeth, were their feelings conveyed or had they melted into the nether, never to be noticed? But his ulterior motive alone remained hidden within the deepest recesses of his heart, breathing silently like a wolf stalking its prey. He conveyed all his feelings through his fists, and indeed this fight was needed to carry out his scheme.
大体昔からよ毎度こんな感じだったよな。いつまでも飽きやしないお前ひっぺがしてよ。その度に毎度のこと切りやがる。めんどくせえ。
それの何が
悪いんだよ。ふっとしんで俺の美観に抵触してイライラさせやがる。ガラクタいつまで抱えてやがる。なくしたんだよ。いい加減残像にまですがりついてんだ。
It's all junk. You got no reason to sacrifice yourself for it. I'm only trying to liberate you, and this time I'm serious. And you know how far I'm willing to go at times like this, don't you?
勝手に背負うな。命かけて気張って意地あるところ間違いっぱなしなんだよ。頼んでもねえのに人の理屈へ突っかかってきてんのはどっちだよ。ああ
So give up on it already. This shit won't open unless you kill me. You can't kick all their asses like this. Told you I'm fucked. They got me cornered. So even you can tell who's supposed to just pack up and exit stage left. I know you can't kill Himuro. Duh! Even if there was a glint of truth in the shit I spat earlier, I'd still end up as part of their hellhole after kicking the bucket. Fuck that. And that's right, Ren. I'm always willing to aim. Aiming to win. Fuck me. I can't even get the damn sentence right. God damn it, Mercurius is so fucked up at this point. You fucked up the script. And so I'll send you over there even if I had to kick your ass all the way to the sky myself.
だって何お前はこねてちっとも大人にならねえガキのままだ
So I was right. You got to win, right? You're trying to win, right? You really want to go there, right? Aren't you trying to win? You are, aren't you? You want to go there, am I right? Then why the hell are you counting me in? Who are you to always decide the numbers? The bus is packed, idiot. So leave me behind. Seriously, listen to me for once, Ren.
このアホが気合で何でも解決できる世の中宗教も法律も生まれてねえよイエスもブッダもアラもいるかどうすりゃいいか言っただろうが知ってんだろ気づいただろならいい加減腹の一つでも男らしくくくりやがれあの人殺されんのが嫌なら俺をやって切りつけてこい勝ちたいんならそれぐらいやってみせろアマちゃんが奪われたから奪わないって成人かよこのボケその女守りたいならぶっ殺してやるぐらい言ってみたらどうだふざけんなって言ってんだろそんな理屈俺は
Of course you'd say that. I knew that much.
知ったことじゃねえどれもごめんなお前を捨てるなんてな言われたら絶対やってやらねえ
Selfish as always, I see. You weren't given to words alone.
じゃあなんだどうすりゃいいか言ってみろ人の考えた案にケチつけててめえさっきからあれは違うこれは違うとそればかりじゃねえかホームに話しかけてんじゃねえんだよ自分の言葉ぐらい一つや二つ吐いてみろだからそれも言ってんだろうが地方こきやがって鶏頭が
Stop calling people idiots, idiot. But we're at a stalemate like this. Understand it already and overcome it.
俺はお前に先輩を殺させないあの人を守り抜くもう誰にも何者にも傷つけさせない
Stubborn bastard through and through. He no doubt thought it was only natural for a man to protect his woman. The dumbass thought he was in the fucking Victorian era. Didn't suit his girlish face one bit. How could he run his mouth and spew that cringy shit all day? Well, Shiro himself found himself embarrassed by his tirade.
そしてお前も
There was one more thing the idiot simply wouldn't let go of.
お前のことも見捨てない大切なんだよ勝手に見限れるかはかりになんてかけられるかなめんなよクソシロウが
He just couldn't let go of his friends. The idiot. Well, that's flattering, but you've got no other choice, numbskull. You know just as much as I do how this is our best bet at the moment.
うるせえよそれでどうにかならないから手詰まりなんだろうがうるさいのはお前の方だ寝言かましてるのもそっちだ俺はそんなの認めない何度だって言ってやる抱えて進んで何が悪い俺とお前でできないことなんて何もねえ今までも今もこれからだってだ俺は俺の理屈でお前がいれば勝率が上がるからやってんだよ
This shithead was full of empty bravado, clinging to his nonsense with absolute conviction. Like, he seemed to truly believe in it. For fuck's sake, there's just no getting through to the guy. That was why Shiro had to constantly go to such insane lengths to do anything. The bastard needed to realize just how much of a burden his naivety was on him.
お前となら勝てるだろう
Damn philanthropist, cut the bullshit already and stop obsessing over everything with such religious zeal. Why can't you just go and be satisfied with one thing?
俺たちはそうだったはずだろ腹立つけどお前はすげえよ組めば無敵だそうだろ
God, rein in your homo tendencies already. Stop boasting about this shit. It's making my ears rot. Huh, I'll go fucking deaf in a minute.
売られた喧嘩なんだぜ。なんで買わないんだよ。逃げだろそれは。だから殴り込みをかけるのは俺たちだ。欠員出さずにあいつら全員ぶっ倒しに行くんだよ。俺と先輩とお前で勝つ。3人で勝つんだ。誰も負けない失わない。最高にかっこいい完全勝利。それが俺たちの勝利だろ。
Yeah, that's awesome. For a delusion. A final battle with the three of us, losing no one, losing to no one. A complete victory worthy of a Saturday morning cartoon. We'd pat each other on the back and ride off to the sunset. Happy end. You know, that sounds pretty sweet, except it's too fucking late for that, dumb fuck. We've lost too much. You can't reach a happy ending with everyone else safe and sound when half of your friends are already dead. So...
どうやってだよ。だから案出せって俺は言ってるだろうが。知るかバカしろ。お前が考えんだよ。大得意だろうがこういうの。
He screamed the words while delivering an uppercut. This had reached a stage where it was nothing more than a childish tantrum. Shiro returned the favor with an elbow thrust. Ha! The hell's that? You really are a fucking idiot. Where the hell's all that unfounded confidence coming from? I've told you it's impossible. I already got a plan. All you gotta do is go along with it. How many times will you need to hit me before you're satisfied? I know, I can tell. Don't think I'm an idiot. You know I've got a good nose. Ren, you're already on a level where you can easily kill someone like me. So why the fuck are you still hitting me? If you want to protect Himuro, then don't humor a childish brawl like this.
考えろって。お前な。
The guy was this close to driving Shiro insane.
何人に頼ってんだ。飾りかその頭はよ。
Why the hell are you betting everything on someone else? Don't trust others more than you trust yourself. And then you even go and overestimate me, just add insult to injury. I got no words, you're a fucking R-word. Their screams grew louder and louder with each consecutive hit. And within the deepest recess of Shiro's heart, pumping demonic fiery blood through his veins, two voices could be heard, one on the verge of crying, another mocking in its tone.
お前がなんとかしろよ。何お前の女殺そうとしてるやつ当てにしてんだ。
Stop bawling, Kasumi. Your racket's driving me nuts. I know you're doing all this whole I'll cry in their place thing, but I'd rather you keep that for later. Jesus Christ! And you, Ellie. Stop cheering and do something about her. I've been doing a pretty bang-up job with my acting till now. You think I deserve an Oscar? Anyway, shut up, because I need to keep this sour look on my mug for a while longer. I've got to make a move forward to finally cut me off. Sorry for bringing you two into this. Got to mention my plan. But cooperate with me for now. We've got to get him to the final battle.
悪いかよお前を当てにして。何でもできるんだろ自称ヒーローさんよ。
自称はどっちだ。このコメディリリーフが。
Waves of seething emotions kept surging to the surface from both of them. They exchanged a series of heavy punches for what must have been the 100th time. A cross counter straight to the jaw. They both staggered, their consciousness growing dim. But they soon shrugged it off and resumed the brawl with savage screams. What left his lips was neither a scream nor a breath.
どうよ。レン。楽しいか。
He answered the blow into his solar plexus with a knee to the face.
なわけあるか。俺はマゾヒストじゃねえ。
そうかよ。
俺は。
A blast! The thrill of nostalgia spread throughout Shiro. He was having as much fun as on that fateful day. The same words, the same sentiments, yet he couldn't let him know. Only the blood coursing within him knew the truth. And so he cut his words short, however unfortunate that was. He balled his hands into fists, only to raise them again, all in order to force Ren to kill him. A clean hit. I couldn't help letting out a groan as the bones of my nose shattered to pieces. Blood gushed forth with such ferocity it rushed back into my trachea, but that still wouldn't stop me. Quite the contrary, our brawl intensified even further, continuing as the pouring blood painted the rooftop a vivid hue of crimson. Jesus! I had no time to pay attention to Himuro's tortured gaze flashing into my peripheral vision. My body was broken all over. A normal man would have long since passed out, but my augmented legs refused to give in. I couldn't fall. That alone was something I had to avoid no matter what. I couldn't lose Himuro. Even for a fleeting moment, we would create a time where both of us could smile, just like on that day. So...
いい加減倒れとけよ、レン。何、簡単なことだ。目が覚めたら終わってる。このまま気持ちよくおねんねと行こうや。俺が選んでやるよ。保護者に任せろ。ガキみたいにわめいてりゃいいさ。もう止めねえし、どうでもいい。そうだな。お前はそういう根性なしだ。ギリギリのとこまで来て、なのにいつまでも綺麗なもんばっか見て玉いじってりゃいい。できないことはやってやるさ。汚れなくていい。あの時みたいに、今までみたいに、俺がその分切り捨ててやるから。そろそろうぜんだ。落ちとけよ。
No? I told you that was one thing I'd never let you do, Shiro. Let's, fix that, shall we?
そろそろうぜんだ。落ちとけよ。なあ。
Oh wow, it really wasn't that much left over there. I thought I completely missed out on more dialogue.
落ちるか。落ちるのはそっちだ。何が保護者だ、ふざけんな。俺は選んでるんだよ。お前に。
I wouldn't sit still and listen to his accusations. I might have pushed some of the dirty work on him, but none of that was intentional. From the very beginning, I only ever had one choice, and so I'd never change it. I couldn't. I might have hesitated. I might have grown confused for a while, but no matter how much I thought about it, I'd arrive at the same conclusion every single time.
待たせるかよ。背負って叫んで何が悪い。誰にも言わせねえぞ。
空っぽになった今でもかよ。
だから空っぽなんかじゃねえ。無価値になったなんて決めつけんな。
I wouldn't let him say that Irae Himuro was worthless. Or that he himself was worthless. See? Pieces of my regular life were still here. The whole two of them. No one robbed me of them. I haven't lost them, and I could still fight for them. Ren Fuji only had 2 hands, so that was as much as he could carry around with him. Remembering all I'd lost would fill my eyes with tears, but I had things taken away from me. I was tormented by regret. I cried and screamed like a miserable child, yet I still had enough power in me to withstand his punches. I still had 2 treasures left. So...
縛り付けてでもお前を止める。
I wouldn't kill him. I couldn't let him turn worthless.
俺が道を作るから、そうなったらついてこいよ。
This time, I'd go ahead and carve open a path for the both of us. Better appreciate it. He'd always been the first in everything, every single time, so I feigned ignorance knowing it'd be lame of me to admit it. If there was no Shiro to pull my hand, I would have probably spent my whole life sitting inside the safe confines of my room. Ever since my early childhood, I never took an active role in anything in my life. Eventually, I might have grown to shun the outside world completely. Despite craving novelty somewhere deep within my heart, I lacked the very concept of doing anything by myself, and he was the one who kept rescuing me from that solipsistic stagnation.
正気かお前。頭打ちすぎて自己分析もできなくなったかよ。キャラじゃねえだろ。似合ってねえよ。飽きもせず延々同じこと繰り返せるようなイカレ野郎が生こいてんじゃねえ。できねえ。やれっか。そりゃ俺の領分だ。だから。
いや、今度は俺がやる。俺がお前を連れて行く。
Sorry. Thanks. Be grateful. I'll open a path with my own 2 hands.
突っ込んでろタコ。言っただろ、俺が主役なんだよ。
Mercurius is sneakily sneezing.
いつまでも脇役に切り込み役任せると思うな。全部いいとこ取りしてやるから。だからお前を止める。絶対に止める。何も奪わせない、切り捨てさせない。俺が何とかするの。黙って見てろ。
All that left my lips were curses, but I hoped he understood. I buried my fists in a completely ruined body, my own handiwork. My eyes hurt, my throat burned, I cursed my own stubbornness for not being able to communicate my true feelings to him in any other way. But we both were fools, and that wouldn't change even if we died. I knew that much. This would happen all over again, every time we met. I would have never said that in a sober state, but I could be more honest with myself now. His behaviors and ideas were most certainly the complete opposite of what I aspired to be. Completely honest, everything about him offended me. He wouldn't just piss me off occasionally, his very presence would irritate me. I couldn't understand why someone like him would associate with me. It was like a bad joke, me being friends with someone who could have very well crawled out of a fairy tale or a textbook. And yet Shiro would always achieve results, regardless of how crazy a method he used. I couldn't keep my eyes off of him, no matter how much I wanted to avert my gaze. Would his heart also light up with envy when our eyes met? Did he never consider, even for a moment, that he'd want to try my lifestyle, despite how much hate he expressed towards it? Back then, I couldn't admit it even to myself. But now I can, and will. I stayed with him, despite being thoroughly annoyed by everything he stood for, and not only because we shared a secret.
もうお前に俺のできることを任せない。
A clandestine aspiration that I could have never chosen, yet wanted someone else to give shape. I realized I was proud of you, who embodied my secret, yet impossible to achieve hopes.
渡さねえよ、逃げてねえ。ただでも何でも俺がこうするって決めたんだ。お前に投げて勝手に解決されたのを後になって受け取りなんてしない。もうお膳立てしなくたっていいから最後までやらせろ。信じてみろよ、楽勝だぜ。俺はお前のバカに付き合ってこられた男なんだからな。
I was grateful to him. He'd already done enough. He pulled me all this way, taking care of all the shit I refused to. I wasn't gonna let him take the bad guy role anymore. I was gonna spit reason in the face and show him a convenient development that even he could only dream of. At the end of despair-laden road we three trod. I'm gonna present him with a desirable future. That'd be my atonement for everything I'd done to him till this day.
おいおいねえ、てめえいつからそんな偉くなったよ。俺のやってきたこともできるようになる？お前が？本気でそんなこと思ってんのか？まったくなんだそりゃ。こいたな。おい！
He answered with a feral grin and a savage punch. My body bent like the letter C and I almost fell to my knees after taking this punch. I could almost feel the burning hatred and animosity in his fist. Okay, this fight is... oh my god, these two have really been... The funny thing is, I've had a feeling that there was just going to be an eventual point where these two would duke it out, but holy shit, this goes beyond my expectations.
やってみろよ。いいぜ。のぼせんな。俺に勝てるかよ。ちんたらやってるお前が即決即行のこの俺様にんなこと一度もあったかよ。
さあな。だからこれが最初だ。
ふざけよ。やってみろ。永遠の青二歳が。
やってやるさ。
Oh! I dodged his attempt at grabbing me and punched him in the face instead. I followed up with another punch and another. Then I got 3 punches back in return. I could hardly raise my arms anymore. My legs barely moved, but I refused to fall. I couldn't fall. We exchanged punches in such quick flashes that I couldn't even tell where I got hit. Still, I kept my glare locked on him, my consciousness clear and alert, straining my muscles even further to put an end to this battle. We had stopped trying to convince the other with words, knowing it was futile. We were far beyond the point where that had worked. We merely continued flailing our arms and legs, chafed to the bone at this point at each other. Pieces of meat and spurts of blood danced in the air. Our wheels clashed against each other in almost audible cracks, our roars drowning out our wails. The intense pain torturing every cell of my body would not subside. I could feel even my mind abrade and fall apart little by little. Sound vanished from my ears. The surroundings grew white, as if bleached. I felt as if something strange filled me. In there, I can feel an odd sense of unity, an inexplicable but pleasant sensation. felt as if the two sides of the coin clashed against each other to unmask, gain, or expose all the parts we lacked. I could barely hold on to my consciousness. Violence danced around me in a dreamlike haze. All I could feel was pain, yet it also felt somewhat distant. For the first time today, I made a faint smile. For an ephemeral moment, my consciousness truly left me. I'd attained a Natman. My true feelings poured forth through my gritted teeth. There was one thing I lied to Shiro about. Back then and now, fighting him was beyond aggravating, but just like him, I too. My conscience returned. Our heads had crashed into each other in a deadly headbutt, spurts of blood shooting from both our foreheads. I lost my vision to a veil of crimson. I could make out the gleam of someone's eyes in the red scenery. A gale assaulted me. He put his all into that fist. The trump card he poured all his remaining power into. I was falling. He had destroyed my footing, and his hand shattered my bones. My flesh was torn with the bones in both my legs breaking at the same time. Willpower alone wouldn't be enough to put me on my feet now. Standing erect had become a physical impossibility for me. My vision swayed. I could barely see anything. My hearing grew numb, and I could barely feel anything else. I couldn't even register the wind tickling my face. My consciousness grew dim, and I wouldn't give in. I sent the final reserves of my strength to reinvigorate my legs. That's right, Shiro. I made a promise. So just this once, I'd protect you. I wouldn't give in. I'd make a decision myself. Emotion fierce and abrupt as a scream. All the bones in my body cracked as I crashed into him, shattering his body in the process. His body crashed down into the concrete of the roof, bounced back into the air due to the insane momentum of his fall, and tumbled further down the cold floor like a broken doll. I couldn't even tell that image struck me with guilt or pride. Everything seemed as if in slow motion. I gritted my teeth so hard I could taste blood, and stared at his crumpled, still struggling figure. His red coat was all soiled in blood. There was hardly an uninjured spot on his entire body. I couldn't come up with anything to say with my consciousness all dizzy and fluctuating. I limped closer to his side. He didn't try to attack me anymore. Our physical capabilities aside, the spark of battle lust had been extinguished in us both. Both our hearts found respite in that last exchange, and so we had no reason to stand up and continue the fight. All that was left was to officially seal the matter. It would all come to an end. But my voice trembled. After a long silence, a trite line like that was all I could come up with. The sheer idiocy of my declaration nearly made me want to cry. There was nothing to be proud about it. Hell, it only reminded me of the pain. Yet I was answered by a seemingly satisfied voice. Shiro made a peaceful smile and turned over to face the sky. All strength had left my body as I heard those words. My feet gave in and I tipped over, unable to resist the force of gravity pulling me down to the hard concrete. Himuro rushed to my side and, not minding getting her hands and clothes soiled with blood, caught me before I could crash into the ground. I no longer had the strength to answer her. Her desperate, teary-eyed look made my heart bleed. It's pretty lousy of me to make the one person I wanted to protect the most worry this much. Our savage fist fight was not something to show to a girl. If she were in Himuro's shoes, Kasumi would have been bawling her eyes out right about now. And...
なあレン、いい喧嘩だったよな、こりゃ。
A certain someone still went on with his nonsense. It made me sad not having been able to stop him any other way. I couldn't feel the savage pressure from his carefree tone anymore. For whatever reason, the way he went back to his usual self only served to reignite anger in my calm heart. What the hell was this? Why did it piss me off so much? Exhaustion overtook my body in the wake of the heat of adrenaline leaving it. I inhaled a deep breath, the oxygen rushing into my lungs, helping me regain myself.
あのな、何がいい喧嘩だ。最悪の気分なんだよ。おかげで体中ガタガタじゃねえか。余計な手間かけさせやがって。頭は冷えたかよ。まだってんならもう一発いくぞ。
そりゃ無理だな。なんせ常時煮立ってるもんでよ。これくらいじゃクールダウンしそうにないわ。しかしまあ、ほんと厄介だな、お前。ちっともこっちの思い通りに動きゃしねえ。たくよ、結局こうなんのかよ。貧乏くじは毎回俺か。たまんね
わけわかんねえよ。やっぱ殴ってやろうか。
えな。やってみな。10倍返ししてやるよ。
You don't look that bad, buddy. His voice sheltered a barely perceptible hint of joy. Shiro slowly rose to his feet. He still looked like a run-over dog, but most of the smaller lacerations on his body had already closed up. The regenerative powers of the Okonogi within our bodies kicked in swiftly enough. He confirmed the fact with a slight smile and let out a sigh. It felt like the thing was mocking the pain we had to go through to each this stage. It kind of pissed me off.
しかしまあ、青臭いな、お互い。いい具合に意地張って、バカみたいに声張り上げてよ。間抜けっ面つき合わせて、そんでボロボロになって。なんだこりゃ。まるで80年代のドラマじゃねえか。使い古されてるのに、自分でやってみると意外に歯応えあるってやつ。世の中、意外とテンプレも捨てたもんじゃねえみたいだな。試してから文句は言うべきだって。なんつうか、これもまた今更か。悪くねえ。ああ、そうだな。悪くねえ。お前みたいなバカとバカやるのは、いつだってそうだった。お前とだったから、俺は楽しめたのか。
シロ。
I furrowed my brows at his unusual tangent. He, who had always been bored by practically everything, now wore an undeniably satisfied smile. It didn't fit him. It was in complete discord with his personality.
だから安心したわ。仕方ないじゃねえ。今のお前ならかけられる。
There we go.
悪いな。やっぱこいつは俺の役みたいだ。最後はマジになっちまったけどよ。これだけはちょいと譲れそうにない。
Good on you, Shiro.
シロ、お前何を。
He didn't answer. Instead, he suddenly directed his gaze to my side, interrupting me.
ああ、それと先輩も悪かったな。安心していいぜ。そいつのそばが世界で一番安全だ。離れなければ生き残ることぐらい簡単だろうよ。なんたって無敵の主人公様みたいだから頑張りな。適正云々じゃなくて、あんたがこいつのヒロインなんだ。
え、ユサ君。
いい女になれってこと。応援してるぜ。 俺たちは
His voice rang like a warning. He limped to the fence and turned back towards us. He no longer minded the pouring blood in his broken body. He merely gave us a long, hard look as the calm and silent wind slowly cooled our skin. A broad smile suddenly appeared on his lips, his eyes growing dead serious.
レン、お前は勝てるよ。
Go ahead. Make some hell for us. A gunshot reverberated across the roof. A wisp of smoke rose from his right hand. Shiro, abruptly and unexpectedly, pressed the gun against his own temple and pulled the trigger before any of us could react.
シロ。
My brain refused to comprehend the scene before my eyes. A headless corpse crumpled down to the ground. The souls it contained escaped like air from a popped balloon, rushing into the confines of the swastika. It appeared to have also swallowed the blood we had shed while hitting each other during. This meant that the whole swastika was now complete. That the path before me had finally opened. The road I needed to follow. In other words, I had attained the means to enter their castle. But
シロ。お前。
Reinhard would finally be able to materialize.
やっぱり。そうするつもりだったのか。
He ended up being one step ahead of me. Like always. What I treasured above all else, something I could never discard. The very thing I wished to protect the most. He destroyed it with utmost ease, then left us. That hit me a lot harder than I thought it was going to hit me. I have the honest... I have no words. I, honest to goodness, have no words for that. That battle between the two was so... utterly fantastic. To end on such a note like that... But honestly, it's something that I knew was going to happen. I mean, there's technically no other way to get to the castle. And I'm kind of happy that the story... I'm happy that DS Irae treated itself with enough respect to where it wouldn't come up with a sudden bullshit reason to, oh, there just so happened to be enough souls. Hooray, there's a new swastika. It's already done. And I'm happy that the novel did not go that route, because that would have been a cop-out. I'm happy that it stuck to the rules, and... God damn, this is such a well-written novel. I'm ending it there. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'm just going to go sit down for a little bit. And I will thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a week to kind of process all that.